Hello, I'm Angela Princeville, and on this segment of Ask AP, I'm answering the question, how does Zoom course work? Well, if my rope did not give it away already, I just completed a Zoom court attendance. I actually had a motion by Zoom, and the great thing is this motion is actually somewhere out west, so somewhere out in Milton Court, but thankfully, I am sitting in my offices here in Pickering and I'm able to attend court and serve my clients. So it seems a very appropriate moment to answer this question. How does Zoom court work? Well, first, you have to remember that it's still a courtroom, so proper courtroom decorum is required. However you would act if you're in front of the judge is how you will be expected to act on Zoom. Make sure there is no one in the room. You know, um, Especially off camera. So if you need a support person, for example, and they need to be in the room with you, you need to let the judge and the other parties know that. Depending on the kind of attendance it is, because I know especially with conferences, the judges and the parties generally don't like anybody else attending with you. But if you need that support, do make it clear that there is somebody else in the room, and if not, make sure you are alone. There's a host of reasons for that, which I can get into during the short time that I have to answer this question. But also ensure that you have good lighting. Make sure your audio is good. No one's asking for anything state of the art. As you can tell, I'm not using any such thing, but at least I have light coming in so that the court is able to see me. As in physical court, make sure you're not drinking. If you are drinking, you're expected to be drinking out of a clear cup. So no drinking. I actually had this cup. So I had coffee earlier, which I made in house. So it's in this cup, but because I was in court, I couldn't continue drinking my coffee, and now it's cold, so I have to make another one. But yes, you're only allowed to drink water from a clear cup. Same thing in court. No smoking, obviously, and you will be surprised. Sometimes people have tried to vape because it's Zoom. You can't smoke or vape or eat during the court attendance. Try to dress professionally. Obviously, even as lawyers, we're not always required to wear a robe. If this weren't a motion, I would be in my regular day-to-day clothes, but at least try to look professional. So no baseball hats, no tank tops, that sort of thing. And do try to remain polite, right? So no, it's easy to forget that, even though you're not in the presence of the judge, they can still see you on Zoom, right? So if you're making, certain facial expressions and things like that, like it does come off, and judges don't really take very lightly to that. So do watch your facial expressions. Don't make any outbursts, no sudden outbursts if you're not asked a question or if it's not your turn to speak. Don't speak. The judges would usually tell you when it's your turn to speak. So generally, stay silent. If the other side is saying things that you don't like or that are untrue, just make your notes. You will get your chance to speak, and at that point, you can address and set the record straight. So I guess just stay muted for the most part. I think that's actually it's a very important thing for you to do, because aside from, gives you a second between opening your mouth to speak and actually people hearing you, because, when you say something, if it's not your turn to speak, then no one hears. If it's your turn, they'll generally say you're muted. So don't worry too much that if you're muted, you might not have a chance to get heard. You will. But when you stay muted, it also helps kind of with audio quality for everybody else, or if the lawyers are speaking, there's no feedback and things like that. So do stay muted until it's your turn to speak. If you're being represented by a lawyer, unless it's in very rare circumstances when the judge asks you a direct question, then you can unmute. Otherwise, remember that your lawyer is there to speak on your behalf. Be patient when you log in on time. Actually, you need to log in about 15 minutes early. Be there, wait for your turn. It might take the court staff some time to speak to you. You would generally see a message that would let you know you're in a waiting room. So just be patient and wait for the court to attend to you. And make sure that you are not recording. It is an offense to record any of the proceedings, whether you're just recording audio or recording the video, whatever it is. No recordings are allowed. So I hope that answers your question on how Zoom court works. If you just treat it the same way you will as though you were right in front of the judge, I think you'll be fine. And until next time, it's bye for now.